If you had to pick one thing that you would do first with regard to DCS, what would it be?
Well, it's finding that right leader.
Candidates for Indiana governor are weighing in on the state's child welfare system and revealing their plans to change it. WRTV Investigates Kara Kenny has been tracking concerns. She joins us now with what could change under new leadership.
Governor Eric Holcomb's term ends at the end of next year. That means a new governor in 2025, and with that could come a change in leadership at state agencies like the Indiana Department of Child Services. So we asked all 8 candidates what their plans are for DCS. We got a lot of statements, but only one candidate agreed to go on camera. Hi, Eric.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Republican candidate Eric Doden stopped by the WRTV studio to talk about the future of the state's child welfare system.
Protecting the vulnerable is one of the most important things we do.
The Indiana Department of Child Services has faced sharp criticism for its lack of transparency. DCS Director Eric Miller has been in charge since May, yet Miller has refused to speak with us on camera, nor has he done any news conferences about his plans for DCS. What do you think about the fact that we have yet to talk to him and the public has yet to really hear from him?
Well, I can speak to what's going to happen in my administration. Every agency head will have to reapply for their job. We're going to make sure that we have the right agency heads, the best talent possible.
Republican candidate Curtis Hill told us Eric Miller will not be invited to remain as DCS director on my watch. Hoosier families and children deserve better. And Libertarian Don Rainwater says, I will evaluate every agency appointment individually and determine who I believe is best suited to serve the citizens of Indiana in each role.
I think the best leaders that I've seen make themselves available. They make themselves available because they want to be held accountable themselves.
Eric Doden served as president for the Indiana Economic Development Corporation from 2013 to 2015. The Fort Wayne businessman is a father of 5 children, and his wife is a court-appointed special advocate, a trained volunteer who advocates for abused and neglected children. Doden says he's also met with foster parents across the state, like Braylon Yarrington. If you had to sum up the one thing that you've taken away with your meetings with foster parents, what do you take away?
I think there's a real desire for transparency, and a lack of transparency, it can lead to distrust or lack of trust.
2 other candidates echoed that concern. Democrat Jennifer McCormick told us there's no doubt we need more transparency in government, not less. Republican candidate Suzanne Crouch, who also serves as lieutenant governor, says in order to maintain the trust of Hoosiers in state government, we must adhere to the highest transparency standard possible. Roughly 60 children die every year in our state from abuse and neglect, a fact Indiana's new governor will have to address. Here's a look at what some of the other candidates had to say. Republican Mike Braun's campaign says Mike's plan for DCS will focus on putting the safety of kids first. Republican Brad Chambers' campaign says the welfare of Hoosier children is of paramount importance to Brad. That's why the first policy we released focused on protecting Hoosier children online. And Republican Jamie Reitenauer did not respond. The deadline to file for the race is February 9th. Kara Kenny, WRTV.
State court records show the average time from when a child is removed from a home to adoption is nearly 3 years, or more than 1,000 days. That is above the national average. Eric Doden says to address that, he would create a zero-cost adoption plan that would allow families to adopt a child through the state for free. The process typically costs families thousands of dollars. To read more about Doden's zero-cost adoption plan and full statements from all of the candidates, go to this story on WRTV.com or the WRTV News app. As for the current director of DCS, our offer to speak with Eric Miller still stands. A DCS spokesperson says getting children out of the foster care system is a top priority, quote, saying we have seen a significant reduction in the median time between termination of parental rights and adoption in Indiana, end quote.